Namaskar friends, this is Shekhar Mayanil here again with the episode number 17. Happy Janmashtami to everyone. Today happens to be the Janmashtami festival everywhere. Uh, so I wish you all a very, very, very happy Janmashtami. So before I begin, let me bow down to Lord Ganesha and of course Hanumanji Maharaj, who is my breath. And from there, I get all the instructions as to what needs to be done anyway. So, first of all, let me apologize for the delay in posting the 17th episode. And you will have compassion towards me by the time you finish this video, because you'll understand what was the reason for the delay in the 17th episode. So let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. So today's episode number 17. And in the 16th episode, we discussed the Ashta Siddhi, the 8 Siddhis that Mother Sita Ji bestowed upon Hanumanji Maharaj, that he can become the giver of 8 Siddhis. And now Nidhi, today is the now Nidhi episode. So what are the 9 different kinds of wealth that Mother Sita Ji has bestowed upon or blessed Hanumanji, that he can give it to us? So this is what we will be talking today. Okay. So the 9 nidhis, or the spiritual wealth in yoga sciences, super sciences, is number 1 is, first of all, is the Kundalini nidhi. Kundalini nidhi is the energy of awakening and is associated with the root chakra, right? And it helps to awaken your creative potential and spiritual growth. Second thing is Agni, which is the energy of transformation. So in the transformation, why is it called transformation? It is because it is associated with sacral chakra, and there the entire physical, mental and spiritual transformation starts to happen. Okay. Then Vayu, the energy of action. Vayu is what makes the blood flow. The Vayu, Pran Vayu, you call that, right? Pran Vayu. So that is the energy of action, and which is associated with the solar plexus. Okay. And it helps in to act and manifest your intentions. This is a very, very, very critical nidhi, or the spiritual wealth we have. It has a spiritual connotation, at the same time it has material connotation as well. So number 4 is the prana nidhi, right? The energy of life, and is associated with the heart chakra, and it helps to bring energy and vitality into our life. And the 5th one is the Shakti nidhi, the energy of growth, which is associated with the throat chakra, and it helps bring about growth and expansion into our life. Now, when you talk about throat, that's where the thyroid gland is sitting. And thyroid gland, as you know, that it releases thyroxine, the hormone, which is responsible for metabolism, PMR, the basal metabolic rate. It controls that. So which is what it helps the body grow and expand. So that's another place. Tejas is a 6th one, and that is the energy of clarity, and is associated with the 3rd eye chakra, which is this basically Agya chakra, that energy of clarity. With this Tejas, there is so much clarity in what your purpose of life is, and clarity in action, clarity in speech. Almost all of these clarities, we call it, are governed by this particular Tejas Nidhi. And then the Jyoti Nidhi, which is the energy of illumination. In Kriya Yoga, there is Jyoti Mudra, which is what is so important about Kriya Yoga, is that it has some of these, pretty much all the nidhis are covered in while you practice Kriya Yoga. the energy of illumination and is associated with the crown chakra. And it also helps in bringing illumination and understanding, clarity. I mean, the Tejas and the Jyoti both are interrelated in some ways. And of course, Vishnu, Nidhi, which is known as soul star chakra. The soul star chakra got me very interested. I kind of understood what soul star chakra, which means it is beyond our physical being. When it is beyond our physical, then it comes to something kind of so I feel as if it is going beyond my understanding. So it is becoming little esoteric. But it should not be esoteric. If it is written in the spiritual, our Sanatan Dharma manuals and in literature, it has to be some meaning behind it. So the only thing is, I do not understand the intricacies of it at this point in time in my life. So I may give myself a benefit of doubt. Say, okay, I do not know this. I would like to look into it. So, and there is a ninth chakra, ninth nidhi, which is the energy of unity. So that is where the yoga happens, right? The yoga happens at the energy of soul star chakra, which is basically uh, this is something which I kind of did not understand. This Vishnu and Brahma and Brahman, Vishnu and Brahma need this energy, this nidhis, energy of protection, energy of unity. This is the place I got stuck. So that is the delay. So you understand that where I got delayed, because other things I can relate to functional structural unit in the body, right? All the others. But what about the Vishnu Nidhi and Brahma Nidhi? This is something which I was not able to understand. So I admit my ignorance in that, and that is the reason it got delayed, because I wanted to know. Before I talk about it, I want to experience myself and understand it. So what I did was to understand how did I go about trying to understand these two nidhis. I did some yogic exercises and for identifying and developing my dominant nidhi. So if you do not know what is your dominant nidhi, then practice yoga, asana, pranayam, kriya yoga, mantra chanting, brahmari, and after that sit quietly. I mean, this particular thing I have been doing for quite some time, several decades, I would say. But then you know what? I was not uh, focusing my attention into these two top nidhis. I did not know what was that. So that took me a while. So I just sat quietly there. And what you do after that, you close your eyes and focus your attention on the energy within your body. So when you sit quietly, you will get a particular, I would say, vibration in different areas. You will feel that the energy kind of like when you experience goosebump, you know, the whole from the back of your neck to all the way to the body, that type of a situation will happen in specific area of a body, which will make you appreciate the fact that this is what is at your particular dominant nidhi you have, right? That's how you will focus. Now, if possible, how do you develop the dominant nidhi? If possible, walk barefoot on the grass or on the ground. Stay grounded with nature for a while. So first of all, sit quietly, practice yoga, and then do all these things: asana, pranayam, kriya yoga, mantra chanting, brahmari, and sit quietly, and then walk barefoot and sit just barefoot. Be in nature. That's what it is. And then speak out your intention. What was the intention? I want to know what is this soul star chakra. What is this nidhi that we are talking? I do not know that. Please tell me. So you ask the universe to tell you. This is exactly what I did. Speak out my intention loudly and clearly, preferably in nature, of course. When you are in the forest preserve area and doing nothing there, walking or along just with barefoot, then you speak out intention. and hoping that the nature will answer, and it always answers. There is no doubt about that. And when you come back home, you write down few sentences of your thoughts, feelings, and insights that come up every day. And it can be anything, whatever it may be. I don't know, whatever it is. Some stupid things also, yeah, write it down. Some profound things, write it down. So this is what I did. And techniques to strengthen my Nidhi was this: pranayam and Chalisa breathing. Basically, Chalisa breathing helped me a whole lot in getting to this understanding. Then the affirmations that this is, I've already got this understanding. Affirmation should not be in the past tense or this thing. It should be as if you are doing, as if you are happening, it is happening to you right now, right? So you already got it, that type of thing. Then visualization and in deep meditation, which is basically, I call it silence, sitting in silence. And then mantra chanting is very important, because what happens is mantra chanting, I will talk about this mantra chanting later on, into how the Sanskrit effect, you call that a Sanskrit effect in the brain wiring and memory consolidation and all that. So we'll talk about that some other time. And it has so much science is going on, and so much scientific literature, good strong science is going on in understanding the mantras effect on brain rewiring and all that. So these are the things that you want to strengthen your Nidhi, whichever the Nidhi is. I wanted the highest one, so I did not have that, so I just wanted to have that. So let me get to that. So these are the different, you talk about different chakras. They talk in literature, in our Sanatan Dharma literature, they talk about actually 114 different chakras in our body. The Shiv Sutra talks about that. But there are 20 main chakras. Out of them, 7 are even, it is assisted, it is situated in our body, in our being as plexus, right? But then what about the soul star chakra, and how can we communicate the energies outside of our body when we obliterate the boundaries of our physicality? Once we do that, where do we land up in, and how does that interaction, energy flux from both sides happen? That was my biggest question. I did not get the answer for a long period of time. Now these things, I know that they are plexuses, but what about this stellar gateway and soul star? I mean, these looks like some kind of an esoteric, though they call it, this particular soul star chakra, as a vyapini. No idea, absolutely no idea. And I was thinking, this is like, I don't know, how do I go about understanding all these things? So I said, well, Chalisa breathing is the only solution that I have right now. So I did that. So I sat there and did that. I don't know how many times, but then I did that. So it is. So let's find out, what is the energy. Is there energy field anatomy of the chakras? Energy field anatomy. We have got the structural anatomy, or the plexus, which is basically structural entities. We know that very much. Neuroscientists, all of them know that. But when we talk about when you obliterate the boundaries of your physicality in deep meditation, what happens to the energy fields outside of our body and inside of our body? So is there any correlation between them? Is there any transfer of energies from one to another? Is there any resonance going on there? What is going on? I don't know. So that's where I got stuck. So 18 days went by in silence and still no answer. And I hope you will be sympathetic of my predicaments here in trying to get this episode number 17 after 18 days, so, or perhaps more. And then in the deep silence, this Damru and Donut came. And I have no idea what Damru and Donut. Damru and D&D. Damru and Donut keep coming, and they would not let me live in peace. So I said, let me find out what that Damru and donut is all about. So I went into literature again to look for it. So this is Shivji's Damru, right? Now Shivji's Damru, basically what it does is it hits this particular one hits this side and this particular one hits this side. So when this hits and that hits, there is some vibrations, sound waves going in this direction and some sound waves going in this direction. So both the sound wave can hit each other, and in that way constructive and destructive interference of sound waves can from both ends can cause creation and dissolution of matter from this esoteric energy field. Let's say if this was energy box, right? So from this end there is a vibration going this side and there is a vibration going. Let's say if it was a clockwise situation coming from this side and anti-clock from this side, when the two interference, the sound waves of two different interference coincide with each other, either through a constructive or destructive interference, then there will be creation and dissolution. The destructive interference will be like dissolution of matter, and creative interference, constructive interference will be creation of matter, right? That's exactly what Damru means for Shivji. And how did that happen actually? Oh, that was amazing. When I learned the literature, I learned little bit of Sanskrit, went into Sanskrit understanding of what the Damru sound comes out of, like what kind of sounds. There are 14 sounds that came out of Shivji's Damru, and that is the basis for Sanskrit grammar. The entire Sanskrit grammar is coming from those 14 sounds actually. So I'm Talak, Out, Ouch, Havat, all that. I can't even pronounce them. So it is kind of confusing, right? But there are Sanskrit scholars who say that these sounds are the basis for our alphabet. When alphabet means O, A, E, E, U, U, all that, right? Now, with different alphabet, you can create a word, right? And the word has a meaning. And when the meaning happens, the manifestation of the. So when you say apple, word that comes out, if this word has an image to it, right? The image you imagine the apple. So word and the apple is basically the same thing, right? So they say in Ramcharitmanas, they said that there's a doha, gira arath jala beach sama, kahiyat bhinna na bhinna. गिरा अरत जल बीच समा, कहियत भिन्न न भिन्न, बंदों सीताराम पद, जिनहि परम प्रिय खिन्न. Now gira arat means the vani, or the whatever that comes out of your mouth, gira the word, and earth means the meaning are the same, just like beach means jal, the wave and the water. The wave in the ocean and the water in the ocean, they are the same. It's just the form difference has happened, but essentially the same thing. So when you say a word is the sound, but the form that the sound creates is the same as word, the meaning of that word. So this is what the beauty is. That's how the creation happened from sound. And this is also written in Bible also. This Bible, the first there was a word, right? In the initial stage, there was a word. And from there, everything started to happen. And that's exactly what the Shivji's Damru, 14 different kind of sounds came out of. That is the basis for the Sanskrit grammar. And from that grammar came the alphabets. From alphabets, they came words, and from the words came the manifestation. So this is, I was so fired up about this. I said, man, that is the real reason for that Damru. Now let's talk about what is the real for that donut. So there is a Shivji Damru. I was trying to understand if there is energetics in a donut type structure in universe. Is there anything like that in the universe or anything in the literature, in physics literature or wherever, either in Cartesian geometry uh, or maybe whichever geometry, fractal structure, fractal geometry, or whatever that is there anything kind of toroidal structure? So there is a toroidal structure. Now it almost resembles a donut. Can you believe that? And not only donut, it also resembles a damru. This portion, the narrow portion over here in the center, with I am showing the bulb here. So the pointer here is the whole portion of the damru, right? And when the waves are, if the bottom part of the damru is struck, so what happens is, this is what will happen. It will struck and it is going into a counterclockwise direction, right? Now, this is the energy field anatomy of the chakra. This is what I visualized. I don't know whether it is true or not, but this is the closest approximation of my own experience I am sharing with you. I do not know whether it is right or wrong, but it is sort of way to explain it. I don't know whether this is true or not. So if this is the movement, anti-clockwise movement, when the bottom of the damru is hit by that round bulb. And then what happens is, if you hit with the top one, then the same thing happens from the top down. So at that time, when both the things are hitting each other, what happens in different strengths, different strengths will form. And over here, that's the heart. That's the heart. Heart is the place where manifestation happens, actually speaking. Say in Shiva and Purush and Prakriti, or in the Parvati and Shiva meeting, it is the meeting around the Shivji also comes down, and from the mountain, Kailash mountain, and Parvati also Ji is coming up from Kanyakumari all the way. I mean, that type of thing. So the heart is where the whole manifestation happens. So I think this is what let me understand the field anatomy of the different 9 nidhis or the chakras. So if you consider this, this is rotating in the counterclockwise direction. This is Mooladhara chakra, and this is the Swadhisthana chakra. Again, this is also moving in counterclockwise direction. Manipura chakra is also moving in counterclockwise direction. Now Anahat chakra, it is moving in a clockwise direction. So when clockwise and anti-clockwise meet, so that is where the constructive ion or destructive interference happen. But basically, it is constructive interference will happen because both the energies are combining to each other in such a manner that manifestation is possible. There is no destructive interference in that. Of course, Vishuddhi chakra also doing the same things. So from the top down and bottom up, these are the different energies, frequencies that are meeting, and these are the toroidal structure, the toruses, that toroidal structures that are there. And all these toroids are encapsulated in another bigger toroid, right? Like that. And this entire system is also a part of the other thing. So it is a cascade. It's a fractal structure. You can, whichever the part of you take and expand, and you will see the same thing over and over and over and over again. So the only way to get inside this is through Kriya Yoga. I would say Kriya Yoga or some deeper yogic technique. So once you get inside this toroidal structure, you will communicate with the cosmos in seconds. This is what I shouldn't say that I have experienced, but I don't know how to explain to you whether I have experienced or not. I don't even know that one. So anyway, this is what I got so delayed because of this. So I hope you'll have now. If you would like to know the details of this, this is the website. It starts from the basics. What is this non-scalar system that we have? So there are some different, several unanswered questions in my life right now. Now, is there any similarity between chakras and the torus? The torus is a non-Hertzian quantum field. There is a two quantum field, the Hertzian quantum field and a non-Hertzian quantum field, which Nikola Tesla talked about. Nikola Tesla talked about this non-Hertzian quantum field, which means you can harness the energies from cosmos. The only thing is we do not yet have the wherewithal to harness it. That's all I would say. But Nikola Tesla has gone to that level of understanding that our um, Sanatan Dharma scriptures, Vedas basically have talked about all that good stuff. So that is where I got it, the information from, and I said, let me see if that exists in physics also. And it does. It does exist. Now, is it possible that the chakras and the wheel of energies, basically, are these chakras wheels of energy? This is what energy they constantly talk about energy, energy, energy. And we always were, I was confused as to what is this energy wheel that they are talking about. Now I know the chakras, if you consider them as a physical structure, they are called plexus. And if you consider them the energy field, then they are known as the chakras, right? Or the basically toruses. And now that's the kind of energetics that we are energy anatomy that we are talking about when we deal with consciousness. So is the question is it possible that the chakras are the wheels of energy in the form of toruses which connect consciousness with existence, and through them the consciousness is expressed as existence? Because consciousness and existence are not the same, two different. It is just the manifestation difference, that's all. So this is exactly what Shivji's uh, Shiva Sutra and Vigyan Bhairavi Tantra talk about. It's amazing. It's amazing. If you really want to know the depth of Sanatan Dharma concepts, such higher concept they have been talking about, read those two scriptures. One is Vigyan Bhairavi Tantra, another one is Shiv Sutra. Okay. There are other 9 nidhis that are mentioned in Sanatana Dharma literature, and these are Padma Nidhi, which is earned because of life living with high proportion of Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna means the primarily is basically living the life of truth, purity, and cleanliness, and with ethics. And Padmanidhi is basically high spiritual energy that can remain with an individual through successive rebirths. So if we have this nidhi, you will carry this nidhi anyhow with you. And Mahapadmanidhi is the great source of wealth and prosperity. And this nidhi encourages individuals to be generous and share their wealth. If you have seen some people who are very, very philanthropic, they just keep giving. They have this Padmanidhi. And the best part of it that they keep having more and more because they keep giving more and more. This is the Nidhi that one has to strengthen. If there is anything that one had to strengthen, is this Nidhi, that how can we give more? Now that Nidhi does not necessarily mean wealth giving. You can give smile also. Anybody who has smile, you can give smile to somebody. When you look at someone's face, when you meet someone, smile. That is a big nidhi to give. And that never goes away with you. You will keep getting smiles after that constantly. Kharab nidhi, riches of all kinds, right? Now, these kind of people are very good advisors, and they can give very good advice to creation of wealth. So they are basically financial advisors, and Kharab nidhi they possess. The Mukund nidhi, acquire wealth, is completely utilization of, they end up completely utilizing in their lifetime. Inheritance, for instance, winning a lottery, financial assistance from a friend, receiving a gift from a wealthy person. This is like they suddenly just keep getting all the money from wherever, and they finish it off also. Okay. Now then, continuation of the other one, Nil Nidhi. This is endowed with both Sattva Guna and the Rajoguna. So along the prosperity achieved, although the prosperity achieved is due to inclusion of Rajas, a cunning component is always there in those people because of Rajas, right? So they do some mischief as far as acquiring wealth is concerned. Skandanidhi is power to lend a helping hand to those who are less fortunate. This is another very beautiful nidhi that they they immediately put money in their hand in their pocket to give it to somebody who needs a helping hand. And most people are very generous. They are very generous people in a sense. And tortoise nidhi is amassing good wealth, but in not using it, just keeping it with you tightly. So these are the misers. They have a lot of money, but they are not willing to share with other people. Nandanidhi is a must. These people have lot of creativity, and music and art and poetry. These people are creative people, and with that they have this. They earn money through that process, but they are just unbelievably creative. So this is so if you see any great artist, um, or even film stars who can deliver good dialogues, and Amitabh Bachchan, for instance, these people have that nidhi. Now they are very creative, some artists, painters, things like that. Makar nidhi, this is pure tamas gun, tamas, the highest tamas in charge. Now, have you seen people have a lot of wealth, and they have amassed the wealth in absolute 100% corruption? For that also you require some kind of talent, right? To not everybody can be corrupt. Let me tell you that. So those people who are corrupt, they operate in absolute tamas, and they acquire through all the negative mechanisms. So, and they are authoritative people, and they have this leadership quality with them that actually intimidate people, basically. So thank you so much for watching this video, and subscribing, sharing it, liking it, and stay tuned for episode 18th. Why? Because we have been talking about Ram Rasayana. Remember that we talked about Ashta Siddhi. Ashta Siddhi Navanidhi Ke Data Asbar Deen Janki Mata. Then she said, Ram Rasayana Tumhare Pasa Sada Raho Raghu पति के दासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा. So this is the end of our discussion today, and thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for this episode number 18. That will be very beautiful, because you know what, I'll be shifting it little bit towards Bhakti Yoga Neurosciences. So right now I'm doing Yogic Neurosciences. In Yoga, Bhakti Yogic also, Bhakti Yoga is also there. So Bhakti Yoga Neuroscience, because Rasayan, when it Ram Rasayan means nectar of Ram. What is the nectar of Ram? It is basically the juice, the bhakti. That is so sweet. You will love that one the most. I think amongst all the episodes, you will love that one. So stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for watching.